Not sure if I can post this here, but I posted it on the entitled B Teach subreddit too. Obviously this one will be tweaked for YouTube readings. I give any YouTuber permission to use this story in a video if you send me the link. I don't feel bad for putting my cousin on blast, because 1. We never pressed any charges, and 2. I'm not saying her real name, so if she reads this she can get banned. For this story, I'm just going to refer to my cousin as C, myself as me, my mom as M, and my stepdad as D. I will also include my cousin's mom in this story, but not enough to warrant a fake name or anything. We took in C for some months this year, not sure exactly which ones, don't care enough to check. During that time, she planned a trip back to Idaho to visit her family. Me, M and D live in Texas, and wanted to take me with to meet her mom. Given, her mom according to him is an extremely kind lady, and I only spoke to her once, I'll include that later in the story, and she was extremely grateful because of the circumstance. I was super excited to meet her mom, and at the time me and C were working at the same Barrel of Our People, the one mentioned in my last story. One of the smaller things C did was anytime I told her about the managers treating me badly for not participating in staff drama or making sure the servers knew how the system worked so they wouldn't be mad at us for them being double set. C went behind my back and told her mom about my bad attitude and that we'd fix it when I got to their house in Idaho. Sort of a week after that, BS cat got stuck in BS trailer that she left on her mom's property and suffocated in a fire. She lost her trailer and her cat all in one night, and she was driving home from a friend's house. I set aside all the petty things she'd done to me lately and consoled her, because she literally lives with my fur baby, and I know when that dog dies, I might not be able to live on, so putting myself in her shoes I was partially devastated too. I drove her around, we got a 6-pack of some drink, I forgot what it was, and watched a movie together. I even drove her to a tattoo parlor some miles away so she could get a tattoo of her cat. I did all that I could to help her through it, even thanking one of the Barrel of Our People managers that had been extra sweet to her. I had already quit by then, but I made sure he knew I appreciated it. Even after all that, she still tried to guilt me into going on that trip to Idaho. But here's the kicker. I'd already told her twice I wasn't going as nicely as I could, and a month before the trip I finally told her I 100 was not going. She could be refunded my ticket the first time it said I wasn't going or tried to make other arrangements, but decided to instead try to buy me dinner a bunch of times, and then when her bribery didn't work, she finally threw a tantrum and didn't speak to me for a week. Near the end of that week, she brought up the situation with them, thinking that this woman was really about to berate her daughter for not going on a trip she didn't want to go on, and didn't give in to the bullying and manipulation that C was putting me through. I was cold towards C after she brought him into it, and she caught on. She tried to invite me out to stuff and I started to say no, although I was still polite about it. If she asked me why, I would tell her outright I am allowed to not go out if I please. Finally, the day came where Dee had a migraine, and had enough of her shenanigans. It was something small. We're not allowed to have guests without express permission, and she came back from a trip. Her boyfriend was not allowed in the house when they weren't home, but she came up to the front door, told me she was home, she had a key, still not sure why she did this, and when I opened the door, the poor guy was already holding her heaviest bag right behind her. Against my better judgment I let them in, but didn't leave them alone for a second, and urged them to leave as soon as possible. She did invite me out to dinner, which I happily declined. After Dee heard about that, everything came boiling over. Given he was super harsh about it, the way he told her off neither me nor Em thought was okay, but we were glad he finally did. She packed her stuff over a few days, not coming out unless she was home alone, had a shift, or I had my bedroom door closed. I had installed a lock on it right in front of her because she decided to snoop on me right after pissing me off for something stupid, and locked it. I'd lock it if I left my room, too. I had a hell of a time getting a small bag I customized myself back from her, to the point I basically stole it back when she wasn't home and stashed it in my closet. I didn't want her to take it with her because she contributed nothing to it and made it so whenever I wanted to use it, it was over an hour away at one of her friends' houses. Finally, she moved out. She tried to leave a whole drawer full of sleep clothes behind, but I told her about it right away because we did not want her coming back. She did leave behind stuff like lotions, some old shampoo and Epsom salts, but she also used up all of our Epsom salts, threw away any leftovers she didn't like, and attracted bugs to her room because she couldn't stop eating in there. which was another simple rule I only broke if I had to eat during one of my folks' Zoom meetings, but if it was more than a Pop-Tart wrapper it'd bring out my trash. I took a short trip 100 miles away across Texas, and she had the audacity to text me because she forgot her key fobs for her car. She didn't notice because she didn't use them. Supposedly they were broken. I told her that sucks, but I was in town named 100 miles away and could do nothing to help her. She didn't text M or D. Instead she told me that she'd wait until I got back. I didn't give her the chance to relax. I texted back immediately telling C no, that I wouldn't have time to wait on her hand and foot because I'm busy with my life. That wasn't a lie. Either I immediately tried to enroll in college after I got home from that trip. C sent me some snobby text message back about how she'd text M, and I texted M screenshots and told her I wasn't sure if I was rude, but I was sorry she'd have to deal with C either way. M wasn't bothered by how I told C to get lost. She was proud that I did. Not sure how much of a jerk C was, but when I got back from my trip the fobs were gone. I don't know if she immediately tried to put me on blast after moving out, but I blocked any friends she introduced me to so she couldn't try to take them away from me or tell them I was a jerk or something of the like. Yeah, sure I was a jerk to her because I was sick of having my behind smacked anytime I bent over, sick of constantly being talked down to, sick of being manipulated and sick of hearing about how well her boyfriend performed on her every time she saw him. I was sick of being treated like a slave because my folks thought she was helping me with chores, sick of having her drama shoved in my face and having my feelings and wishes ignored. If that's wrong of me then I'm sorry to anyone that thinks so, but not C.